Lately, I've sensed a really powerfully present ET energy around me. I woke up in the middle of the night a couple of days ago, and in my in my third eye, I saw a ship descending and kind of suspended over the yard behind my house. And I've been reflecting on that. I even had this feeling of what the experience would be if it had been in 3D, this ship, and others were seeing it, and if it was a new dawn for our understanding of who we are and what exists around us. So today I'm keying into the energy of that ship and of those ETs. And for some reason, the thing that comes through is the idea of silver and how silver is a secondary metal. And it feels as though what is being said, and I think this will be a brief one, a brief message, is that even though silver is a secondary metal in our perception, silver has its own purpose, its own place that it holds. And just like titanium has its own place that it holds, and iron has a place that it holds, and gold has a place that it holds. We tend to apply incredible meaning to gold and to sterling silver, but sterling silver comes second. And it feels like this message today is about rearranging our perceptions of value and reconsidering what it is that we think matters and how it matters. And I think that also includes our own value on the spectrum of existence. We're the we're the king of the jungle, right? Although put us in a jungle, and I don't think that humans are the king of the jungle, but we are on the top of the food chain because of our intellect and our level of consciousness and how we use it. But are we? And then if you consider our existence in the full spectrum of existence, which we don't know beyond ourselves at the top of the food chain, but there most likely is a food chain that extends way beyond us and puts us at the bottom, perhaps the message today is even though we would be on the bottom of the food chain of the galactic existence, the galactic spectrum of existence, we can shift that and we can exist along an equal line of a food chain. So rather than having this triangular food chain where we're at the top, with the galactic existence, it's actually an equal. It's a food line, and we're all on it, including the little snail and the ant and the cat and the dog and the lion and the full spectrum. It's no longer a food chain like this. It's a food existence. It's equality. And so I think in this kind of roundabout way, we're being reminded to shift our perspective on value, on the value of everything, on our value on the food chain, both at the top and at the bottom, and the food chain itself. And I don't think that this has anything to do with the shift in uh, health protocols that were put out in the US, but it does come to me. Everything always has to be given some level of value and importance in human society. And I think we're being encouraged to let go of that, let go of the belief that everything needs to have some dollar value, which is what it comes down to in the end. Even when it's just a food chain, it's a dollar value. What matters more? What has the most value? And I think that these ET energies have transcended that. And it's why they're able to have such an expansive experience, being able to send their consciousness to this dimension, because they've managed to supersede and transcend the need to put value on everything and put some at the bottom and some at the top and take advantage of greed and need. We're being asked to let go of that tendency. And we can do that by shifting our belief systems about it, by no longer accepting what we've been fed. And I do, for some reason, go directly to De Beers, the jewelry company, and the diamond ring and the gold and all that. And it's an example of the ways that we place value on things that have the same value as anything else. And yet, for some reason, because of our belief systems, we've placed them as being the most important, most valuable thing. And I wonder if something's going to happen soon that shows us that those are silly kind of trifles that we still focus on that keep us from ascending into a new place. And so until we're able to shift that, there will be those of us who struggle and starve and don't have enough water. And it's those of us who are closer to the top of the food chain that have the responsibility to begin to shift those beliefs by ending the purchase of things that are unnecessary and yet seem to have some value that they don't really have. And instead, focusing our energy on the distribution of love and peace and harmony and ascension.